Have you ever had a moment with the business where you felt seen, heard, and even valued? And have you had the opposite, where you felt frustrated, ignored, and even disrespected? That difference is empathy. In today's video, I'm going to show you how empathy, or the lack of it, can shape entire businesses. And by the end of this video, you will be able to understand what empathy in business really means, see the effects of using versus not using empathy through two real-world examples. Learn simple ways any business, including yours, can start embedding empathy into every level of what you do. And discover how deep empathy can drive better customer service, loyalty, and revenue. Let's get into it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So to better understand our topic today, I think it's important to understand what is empathy in business. Empathy in business is more than being nice. It's about deeply understanding your customers' feelings, needs, and unspoken desires, and intentionally designing your products, marketing, and experiences to meet them. So we really want to understand our customers' feelings, their needs, and those unspoken desires. And I think to better understand their unspoken desires, I'm going to look at this book again that we've been going through, which is The Innovation Secrets of Steve Jobs. And in this, I think we will get a better understanding of what we mean by understanding unspoken desires. I can liken it to nursing as when we use anticipatory guidance. Sometimes our patient does not realize the things that they will need, say, for instance, after surgery or when they're in the hospital, things that like those nosocomial type infections or infections that you can get while you're in the hospital. So they don't realize the things that they may need to help prevent those. But us as nurses, we do know those things. So it's up to us to be advocates for our patients and speak up and ask for those things from the doctor so we can get those things ordered and implement them, right? So in business, it's similar in knowing those unspoken desires. And when I was reading through this book, I noticed that Steve Jobs, he also implemented that anticipatory guidance and knowing what those unspoken desires were for his customers. So I'm gonna read this short paragraph and put it up so you guys can see. And it says, Apple listens to its customers every day. However, the real secret behind Apple's innovations, the innovation with a capital I, comes not from listening to users, but from introducing its customers to a completely new way of thinking about solutions for their problems. This is what Jobs meant when he said Apple didn't do focus groups. In no way was he recommending that you stop listening to your customers. He was advocating that you get closer than ever to your customers. So close, in fact, that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. So in doing so, you think, well, how are you going to tell them what they need? Because you're going to know your customer, be so familiar and talking to your customer, be able to know your customer to know what they need. Just like in nursing, say for instance, the patient goes for surgery. They don't realize after surgery that they're more at risk for blood clots, that they're more at risk for things like pneumonia. So in order, after they come from surgery, it's up to us to make sure that they have some kind of anti-blood clotting medicine or device ordered, such as heparin or SCDs or things to help prevent blood clots in their legs, or to make sure that they have things to help prevent pneumonia, like having an incentive spirometer at the bedside. So just in the same way in business, we need to make sure that we are looking out for those unspoken desires by our customers through using empathy and operating with intention. So again, I think this is a great book, and we will be referencing this book at times throughout on this channel. But this is The Innovation of Steve Jobs, and you can find this book linked in my description on my Amazon storefront. Just click the link in the description. All right, so empathy in business, why does it matter? Because people don't buy just because of logic, they buy because of emotion. And if people feel seen, heard, and valued and supported, they're going to return again and again, and they'll tell others. Harvard Business Review found that emotionally connected customers are 52% more valuable than highly satisfied customers alone. Wow. Okay, so now let's look at two real life examples of businesses, one that uses empathy and one that doesn't. Okay, so example one is Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is known for customer friendly policies, human communication, and flexibility when travel plans change unexpectedly. So if your flight is canceled, they don't hit you with surprise fees or make you fight for support. Their tone is lighthearted and human, and even in automated messages. The result, higher customer loyalty and word of mouth referrals, even though they're not always the cheapest option. Okay, example two, Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines often gets a bad rap for being transactional, cold, and fee heavy. If your bag is 1 inch too big, you might pay a big fee. If your flight is canceled, support is limited and not personal. So what happens? People churn. So what does churn mean? People stop buying your product, stop using your service, and ultimately leave your business never to return again. Okay, so they fly Spirit only when they have no other choice, and they warn their friends about the experience. So Spirit is in a constant race for new customers because they can't build trust and loyalty. So here's what the numbers tell us. 59% of customers say businesses have lost touch with the human element of customer experience. 75% want more human interaction, not less. Businesses rated high in empathy outperform competitors by 20% in revenue growth, according to Business Solver. So guys, it's important to implement empathy in business. When you think about it, empathy leads to trust, which leads to loyalty, which leads to higher LTV or lifetime value, or like a lifetime customer pretty much, or a customer that returns again and again to your business and supports your business, feels like they're seen and heard. So they're going to return and return. So that will lead to higher LTV, sustainable revenue. So empathy leads to trust, leads to loyalty, which leads to higher LTV, which leads to higher sustainable revenue. Now, on the other hand, no empathy leads to frustration, churn, or people leaving your business, not buying your products or services, and never returning to your business to be supported again. And that churn will lead to high acquisition costs and low profitability. So in short, empathy is a revenue driver, not just a feel-good value. Let's say your business or one you know hasn't been using empathy well. Can you change courses? Absolutely. And here's how. So first of all, we have to listen attentively. Talk to our customers, get real feedback. Know what frustrates them, what delights them, what do they need, what are their pain points. We get to really know them and their frustrations. Number two, train empathy. Teach your team that empathy is a skill, not just a personality trait. So teaching your team who may not have empathy as a natural thing, but they can learn how to implement that empathy into the business. And one of the best ways to train empathy is to be a great leader of empathy. Be that what you want your team to be. Show that empathy. That's a great way to do it also. So train empathy. Number three, humanize communication. So ditch that cold robotic language. Use tone and language that connects. Number four, design with empathy. So map out your customer journey. What are the friction points? How can you ease them? So whatever business you're in, you want to see that starting point from that customer when they come into your business to when they may leave out of your business, from when the transaction or whatever it starts to when it ends. So what does their experience or their journey through that process look like? Where may they have pain points? Where may they have frustrations or difficulties? Make that process as seamless and just easy for your customer. Make it user-friendly and in a way that benefits them to the highest level. Number five, apologize well. So a real apology builds more trust than a perfect product. So there's a thing in service, like in nursing, what we do is service recovery. When something may not go right, you want to use service recovery. So apologize well, and not just apologizing, but really putting that apology with action. So if something didn't go right, what can we do to make it better, to get that service recovery type thing in action? So we have a customer that returns that said, okay, yes, this didn't go right, but they did do what they could to make it a better experience. Don't just leave it as is. Apologize and put action behind your apology and make sure that it's done at a very good level and with full intention. So Maya Angelou said that people may forget what you said, but they won't forget how you made them feel. So we can say the same thing with customers. They may forget what we said, but they're not going to forget how you made them feel. So make them feel service, make them feel valued, seen, and heard. If this video helped you understand how powerful empathy is in business, I want to help you go even deeper. I created a free empathy-driven business blueprint, a simple guide to help you embed empathy into every area of your business, from writing the emails to the offers to the customer experience. Grab it below and start building a business that people love to come back to. Thank you for watching, and remember, empathy is one of your greatest business advantages, so use it well. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.